Welcome in, guys. We are week 6 racing here with the B-Main Bandits once again. But we are on the Asphalt side for the second of our double headers at Legacy Phoenix, or as my good friend Doug Burns says, the correct version of Phoenix. What he means by that, for anybody that is not educated in Legacy Phoenix and the new version of Phoenix, a few years back they did reconfigure the track. They moved the start-finish line out into what is now turns 1 and 2 and paved a huge section of the dog leg, making it so these guys can go down onto the apron, and makes for some great 4 and 5 wide action. But man, I sure miss the old days of Phoenix. These guys are in the high horsepower Asphalt sprint cars here. It's, as you guys can see, guys are struggling. Either they're struggling or they are making a little bit of a show. But no surprise, Joe J. Adams is on the top of the board with a 27.24. Again, another surprise, Ron Quincell, another one of your Asphalt guys, with a 27.30. Then in third is Richie Joplin with a 27.45. And right behind him is Wonderboy, your points leader, and the winner of the Silver Crown race last week at Dover, with a 27.46. Then you have Ryan Paget with a 27.69. Austin Thornton with a 27.80. Scott Snodgrass coming out here with a 28.43. And Brett Wilson and Andrew Thornton have not qualified as of yet. We'll have to see if either of them will get out there. We do know the league owner was having some issues earlier with his connection. Hopefully he's able to actually make the race. And it is going to be 35 laps at this 1 mile track. It is scorching hot, as the league owner would say, a triangle cookie sheet. But we'll let the past be the past. You know, a little bit of league owners manipulating temperature there. And even if he didn't, it's a cookie sheet. So shut up and drive. But 35 laps of action, guys. We have 9 cars in session. Only 7 have qualified. So looks like Brett Wilson and Andrew Thornton will be starting from the back. Let's get right into it. And on the pole is Mr. Joe J. Adams. He'll lead us off here at Legacy Phoenix. To his outside is Ron Quincell, always fast in these sprint cars. Always look forward to seeing him out here. Inside row number 2 will be Richie Joplin out of Hudson, North Carolina, with Jackson McLean out of Paris, Tennessee to his outside. Then it'll be Ryan Paget. Reckon Ryan will be P number 5 with Austin Thornton to his outside in row number 3. And then rounding out the field will be Scott Snodgrass and Andrew Thornton, row number 4. Brett Wilson has not gridded. Do not know if he will be joining us tonight. So, as we were watching practice, we did see a lot of these guys were slipping and sliding again because of that hot temperature here in the deserts of Arizona. 130-degree track temp. Looks like maybe it has gone down. 104 track temperature for the feature. These guys are going to have a lot more grip than they did in practice. See who's going to be able to utilize that. Joe Adams slowly is going to take the green. And they launch. We are green here at Legacy Phoenix. Ron does not get a good jump. That's going to give Richie a great opportunity here, but Ron wants to fight on that high side. Wonderboy looking to the low. Has to avoid Richie. But as we get into the long sweeping corner number 3, who's going to be able to put the power down coming out is the question. And that time at the line, everybody is going straight. Give it to Ron Quincell. He leads the first laps of tonight's feature. Adams drops back 1 into P2 with Joplin sitting there right on the podium. McLean following with Andrew Thornton up already 3 spots. He's gotten around Austin, Scott, and Ryan Paget. Andrew is looking for his second Asphalt victory of the season. Can he get up there is the question. The hungriest guy in the field is sitting in that P3 position. Richie has yet to win with the B main Bandits. You know he wants it. He talks about it every week. But can he finally pull it out on the Asphalt side of the 4 Crown Series? Heading into 3 and 4, Joplin takes a higher line, trying to arc it in there, followed by Jackson McLean. It was showing Brett Wilson did come on track for a moment. So we had an issue with Ryan Paget and Scott Snodgrass. Scott up on the high side, following Paget. Diving down into 1. Scott dives it in. Paget checks up. Paget goes for the ride. Unfortunate. No yellow as of yet. Everybody did get back going. That will put Scott Snodgrass on pit road. And as we go green here, Quincell is loving it. Able to pull out. He is now out to a 0.3 of a second gap over Joe Adams. These guys right now have single filed out, but you have to wonder how much of this is tire conservation. With these high horsepower, low downforce cars, it is very, very easy to spin that right rear tire, which is where the majority of your grip is. If you look on the back of the, get a good view here. You can see the difference between the inside and outside tires, the left and right. That right rear is about 5 to 6 inches wider than the inside left rear. These guys are able to sit there and power off with the throttle because of that massive, massive right tire. Bruce, thank you for the follow, buddy, or the subscribe. We definitely appreciate it here on Warlord Gaming. Great to see you come in and be a part of the community. So we've seen the tire. Let's go ahead and take a ride. Mr. Jackson McLean here. And just for the fun times here, as he's battling with Richie Joplin, let's pull him up here. He will be our in-race reporter. Jackson is out of the booth. You got me?
What's up, man?
So, Jackson, we are actually currently riding along with you as you're chasing down Richie here. How hot and slick is this track tonight? And what's the key to getting around guys?
It's pretty slick. It kind of feels like a dirt track.
So
it's pretty close.
Should be in your wheelhouse then, seeing that you're the dirt ace throughout everybody here.
I'm not feeling too bad. It's just a lot of throttle control, which I'm good at. So,
Now,
there you go. I just passed Richie.
we can see on the inputs here, we see your throttle positioning and your wheel input as well. As you're diving in 150 miles an hour into turn 3, how hard has it been getting off of turn 3 onto that front stretch?
It can get a little sketchy if you're trying to pick up the pace a little bit, but as long as you say calm down, that's not too bad.
Well, thank you, Jackson. We will let you get back to it and defend your position over Richie. Have a good race, buddy.
Appreciate it.
And guys, that was Jackson McLean, currently sitting P3 as he's starting to run away from Richie Joplin. Makes you think, is Richie saving tire, or is he just not have the handle on these asphalt sprints tonight? Unfortunate either way for him to see him dropping positions. We're all rooting for you here at Warlord Gaming as he just bobbled a little bit. And as we were talking with Jackson there, looks like Scott Snodgrass did get into an issue. So we're going to go check that out, and then we'll be right back to this battle for 4th place. Scott just gets loose coming out of 1. Pulls the car to the right and just taps that wall. Gets off the track very quickly, saving us from the yellow, but making it so that we can continue green flag racing. Unfortunate for Scott, but great to see him out here even just trying with these cars. Most guys don't even try these cars. They get in them once, they can't handle it, and they give up. Scott, keep at it, buddy. We'll love to see you out here on Tuesday nights. So our current running order is Ron Quincell, 0.6 of a second over Joe Adams. Ron has been running away with this and has led every lap so far. Behind them, sitting in the final podium spot, is Jackson McLean, currently 1.8 seconds behind Adams. And Richie Joplin sitting in 4th. He was getting pressured by Andrew Thornton. Don't know exactly what happened there, but Andrew Thornton in 5th has dropped back almost 0.7 of a second off of Richie Joplin. And the last of our lead lap cars will be Austin Thornton, who is way off the pace and is 4 seconds behind older brother Andrew. Currently, he's just hoping for a caution, maybe get a little bit of a right rear tire change, and hope for the best. Oh, we've already talked to Jackson. Let's see if we can get a word with league owner Andrew Thornton as he's battling to get up there with Richie Joplin. I have one very important question for you, buddy.
What's that?
Why did you have this be a triangle cookie sheet tonight?
Well, the difference is I didn't set it on purpose. This was iRacing generated.
Hey, we came into practice. It was 130 degrees, but
Yeah, we're feeling it. We're very well aware of it currently. This, you ever watch lightning try to run on ice? This is what you're seeing.
you guys have kept a good handle on the cars. Only a few guys getting off the pace or causing an issue, but no cautions as of yet. I know you're hoping for that NASCAR degree caution. You think we're going to have one?
I don't know, either that or I'm going to be the yellow.
Yeah. Keep doing that, sir, and we'll see you in the wall.
Yeah.
And that was league owner Andrew Thornton as he's trying to get around Richie Joplin. Man, it would be redemption to see him in the wall tonight. I don't think we'll see it. Andrew is having a great run, a great battle here for the 4th position. 15 laps to go. Let's hope he can get up there and make a run of it. Ron Quincell off the pace a little bit. Either that or Adams, who has saved tires, is coming up. We have a fight for the win tonight. Currently, throw a blanket over these two in their best lap times. Quincell does have the fastest lap over the race with a 27.41, but Adams isn't far behind him with a 27.47, less than a tenth of a second in their best lap times. And Adams has closed that gap up to 0.2 of a second. 13 laps to go. The question is, who has tire left and who's going to be able to put the power down for these next 13 laps? 12 at the line. It will be a very, very interesting battle. As you see, Adams, he's catching Quincell going into one. But Quincell is able to pull him on the straightaways currently. Jackson McLean hasn't been able to gain any ground, and he's actually lost back down to 2.3 seconds behind the top two. With Richie Joplin falling even farther back, he is now 4 seconds behind Jackson McLean. Jackson is on an island all by himself. Two battles to watch. You have Quincell and Adams for the lead. You have Joplin and Andrew for the 4th position. We'll be jumping back and forth between those two throughout the rest of this race, just to see who is going to finish where. With under 10 to go, Adams is maintaining that gap of about 2 to 3 tenths of a second. Question is when is he going to pounce on Quincell? Two of the best asphalt sprint car drivers on the service duking it out, and we get to see it right here live on Warlord Gaming. These guys are throwing on a masterclass for these cars, keeping these cars underneath them. Big props to both of them up in the top three, or all three of them in the top three, between Quincell, Adams, and McLean. But Quincell and Adams are just in a league of their own when it comes to these asphalt sprint cars. Now you guys see that little strip there in the dogleg. Oh, we do have a caution. Does not look like it's for debris. Let's go back and take a look. Andrew Thornton involved. Andrew just overcorrects down the front straightaway, taps the outside wall, taps the inside, and brings out the yellow. There is not much room on that front straightaway. And with 7 laps to go, that will tighten up the field. Can Quincell get out to a jump once again? Who's going to come in for tires? You know these guys want them. Quincell's looking, and he does not go. Richie Joplin, the first taker, down pit road, followed by the retard brothers themselves, Andrew and Austin Thornton. Ryan Paget and Scott Snodgrass both out of the session. So it will be the tale of two tires. You have your top three who have shown the most speed all night long, not taking any tires. And your back half of the field, 4th, 5th, and 6th, Looks like they are taking 4 tires. Definitely the play with the pace laps being so long here at Legacy Phoenix. Richie Joplin is off. He will be the first one out of the 3 on off pit road. Then Andrew Thornton will jump younger brother Austin. And that will keep our top 5. Quincell, Adams, McLean, Joplin, and Thornton. It's like the lights on the pace truck are out. We will be going back green this time round. Andrew, Richie, and Austin all caught up to the pack. Looks like it will be a double file restart. Joplin may have got a penalty there. They're bringing him to the back of the field. So he will have a hard time getting around Austin, who has not been on pace most of this race. Four-lap shootout at the line. Will old tires prevail, or was it a mistake? Can Adams, Quincell, and McLean hold him off? We are back green racing. As you already see that tire advantage, you see Austin Thornton just jumping. And they make short work of Adams. These are not the easiest cars to pass in. As McLean jumps out in front of Quincell. Quincell throwing a huge block on Thornton. Is he going to throw it into one? No, he's not. Andrew sitting in third, looking low. Can he get around Quincell to have his shot at Wonder Boy? We will see. And here he comes, Richie Joplin, working his way under Austin. 2 laps to go. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got to get around Austin. He's got to get around Ron. And he's got to get around Andrew and Wonder Boy. He may just not have enough time to make this work. White flag is out. We will have... Oh, contact! Thornton hits Wonder Boy. He catches it up. That lets Wonder Boy get out in front of him. Quincell not able to capitalize. Can Andrew put the power down and win the drag race? He's going to try. Getting a little bit loose off of 3. We have contact at the end. Cars are flying. But give the win, his second asphalt victory of the season, to Jackson McLean. Andrew Thornton in second with Richie Joplin rounding out your podium tonight. Let's go back and take a quick little look here. It looks like it was Ron Quincell that the issues happened with. So remember, Ron is on old tires. Joplin just trying to force the issue, going to the outside and making a drag race. Makes contact with Quincell. Unfortunate for Ron, but what a amazing race by all 3 of these drivers on your podium tonight. We see it weekly. These guys on the asphalt side, they always put on a amazing, amazing show. Great to see what they do. And I don't think we've had a asphalt race that hasn't come down to the wire. Don't know what else to say, guys. These guys put it all out there on the last lap. Let's start talking to him. Your third place finisher is now up in the booth. It is Mr. Richie Joplin.
How's it going, Eddie?
Man, you guys are going to make me lose my voice with these Asphalt Sprint cars. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. I was saving tire, but them two guys, Ron and Joe, man, they just walked the dog with us at the start. And luckily, Kelsey came out. I got some tires, added a little bit more fuel to it to put a little bit of weight in the back end. And I came off on the last turn and matched the throttle and hope for the best.
Yeah, there was a little bit of contact between you and Ron. I know coming to the white flag, you guys are laying it all out on the line. You guys, obviously, you don't want that to be the finish, but able to pull off a third. My biggest surprise is why the top three didn't take those tires.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. I mean, we was talking about it because during the race, we was like, oh, God, tires are gone. Oh, my Lord. We was asking for a caution, then a caution comes out, and I went straight in there and got tires. I mean, I didn't have a chance if I didn't. So that's the only reason why I took it.
Now, we did see you drop to the back of the pack. What happened during that pit stop?
I hit the cone.
Okay, that explains it. We saw you dropping back and let Austin and Andrew around you, and we didn't know exactly what happened, but
unsafe pit entrance. Unsafe. I messed up. My pit thing, I always messed up, get caught speeding or doing something crazy in the pits.
Well, Richie, it's always great to see you on the podium. Hopefully we'll be talking to you last one day and see you in the winner's circle. But heck of a drive tonight, man. Before we let you go, any supporters, any sponsors you want to shout out?
Well, thank you for putting this on, broadcasting it. Thanks for Andrew for letting me race in here in your league too. Let me race in your league. I mean, Doug streaming. I mean, it's just I've met a lot of good guys, and I really appreciate it.
Well, Richie, we definitely love having you around. It's always great, whether I'm talking to you in the broadcast booth or I'm racing side by side with you, and you're always a joy to have. We'll see you next week, buddy, and hopefully we'll see you back in the winter circles.
Thank you, Eddie.
All right, and with that, we talked to him during the race a little bit. It is league owner Andrew Thornton able to pull out a P2 on the night. Andrew, why do you always lose talent in very critical situations?
I don't know if I would consider that a lack of talent, more so, somebody throwing a block and then they ran out of talent and parked the car, trying to run 30 mile an hour slower than the car coming up on them, going in the corner.
Now, no. Hey, we're going to discuss this one. It is on the car behind not to make contact, correct?
Oh, I almost had him cleared, and my left front touched his right rear. And he'll tell you the same thing. He hit the apron trying to block me, and but yeah, the fact I made it back around as far as I did before I stacked it the second time was impressive because it knocked front end completely out of the car. I was holding the steering wheel over 45 degrees to the left to go straight.
Now, I will give you, it was a great save after you did touch wheels with Wonder Boy there. Amazing finish for you. Always great to be on the podium, but you didn't want to see Jackson in front of you for the points. I mean...
No, I wanted to motor right by and wave at him down the back straightaway, but it didn't work that way.
Before we let you go, any sponsors, any supporters you want to shout out there tonight?
Sure. Obviously, my great friend and the winner of this race. You got to thank the Wonder Boy, Jackson McLean Racing. I guess we'll mention Joey too, 5150 Racing, even though he decided he wasn't feeling it tonight and didn't want to come race the pavement race.
So typical Joey excuse, like we're
Mr.
now.
Mr. Excuses at this point. I guess Warlord Gaming deserves a shout out, even though he likes to heckle me live on air. That's okay. and want to thank everybody that participates in this league and, gives you some content, gives us some competition, and, makes for some great times on Tuesday nights.
Well, it's always great talking to you. Man, I couldn't keep a straight face there. Great run tonight, buddy. And before we let you go, hey, Sarah, Daddy knows. All right, guys. And we got to talk to him again. It is the first sweep of the season. It is Mr. Jackson McLean back in victory lane with another Asphalt win. How the heck did you hold off Andrew?
I severely screwed up into one on the last lap. I went too low, blocking him off on the entry, and went off the banking a little bit, and it screwed him up. But luckily we were still able to stay 1-2, and I was able to stay ahead of him.
Now we already discussed that with Andrew. It's all his fault anyways, so just let it ride there.
Yeah, 100%. Guaranteed.
You came in with a pretty sizable points lead over Andrew. You were currently 25 points up. Maybe after this race, you should be another 10 up on him. You think you're going to be able to walk out this championship, or do you think Andrew might be able to claw his way back into it?
It'll be hard to tell because I know there's some tracks that he's raced at before coming up that I haven't, so I'm sure he'll probably get me on those, but it's pretty much a guessing game at this point.
Well, another great run, your second Asphalt victory of the season. You need to go celebrate. You need to give her the baby. We'll see you next week. And guys, that'll do it. A lot of heckling here. We are family with Warlord Gaming and the B-Main Bandits. If you guys ever want any explanations, please just go to Andrew Thornton. He'll explain everything to you. Maybe, maybe not. But it's a great night of racing. Week 6 is in the books. We will be back next week. The Silver Crown's going to Iowa. The Midget's going to Eldora. 2 very large tracks for, well, Silver Crowns, that's appropriate. Midgets at Eldora. Yeah, that's a large track, guys. We're going to see high car counts. That is always a huge, huge, huge draw for this league. It's going to be amazing to see. Yeah. Not much else to go on. Thank you guys again for tuning, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Come on out and check the YouTube channel for all the replays of the B-Main Bandits. If you want to come run with these guys, jump in the Discord. And until next Friday, where we are back with the Open Wheel Outlaws, keep on sending it in, guys.